Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing? I haven't been here for a while with you all, but I thought I would take the time out to come and share some reading with you from the publication of Trusting the God Within. The questions that I have and I've pondered over as well is, have you ever wondered about the importance of how you think, you act, or you respond in certain situations? Um, how did it turn out, and what were your solutions? Another question that I have is, for my life to change, what are some things I could do to develop a more positive mindset? So, as a new student of New Thought, I feel enlightened to share a reading with you guys this evening. So, let's get into our reading. And the title is Develop a Positive Mindset and Maintain It. Let me make it clear that we are creatures of habits and enjoy following the same patterns almost daily with little or no variation. However, if we seriously want to improve ourselves, we must begin by changing our mindset. There was a time when I read every self-improvement or self-help book that I could get my hands on. That was a good thing for me to do, except for one problem. I never stayed with one book long enough to do what it suggested. The next self-help book was always going to be the one that had the answer. It would somehow fix me by osmosis without me doing much of anything except reading the book. Nevertheless, each book I read certainly made me feel better temporarily, as did the lectures and seminars I attended. My life was also gradually getting better. However, it was only after I began formulating the principles expressed in the books into a practical system and started doing the things suggested that my life began to really change radically and permanently. I was no longer getting a temporary high from hearing a good speaker or reading an uplifting book. I was beginning to build some consistency into my self-improvement program. The end result was feeling very good most of the time and getting the results I wanted. There is an interesting and important fact inherent in any uplifting experience that holds true whether we use chemicals, listen to an exciting speaker, or expand our consciousness during meditation. The fact is that when we get temporarily high, we will always come back down to our starting point or our normal level of functioning. This is because of the physiological and psychological law of homeostasis, which simply means internal stability or balance. The body and mind will always return to the normal level of functioning for a given individual. It is as if we are standing on the ground and we suddenly leap up the side of a wall covered with vines and grab hold of one of the vines. We are now a higher level than we were previously, but soon we become tired of holding onto our vine and we finally weaken and fall back to the ground level until we again gather enough energy or circumstances force us to leap again and temporarily grasp another hold of a vine. In a few words, this is the down-to-earth language I call the Saturday night bash and the Sunday morning crash. It is a syndrome related to what we sometimes refer to as the Sunday morning high and the Monday morning die system. The answer to this problem is to stop looking for temporary highs and instead begin to raise our normal level of functioning. This is similar to getting a ladder and placing it against the wall and proceeding to climb the ladder, rung by rung to the top. As we move up to each new rung, we are securely and firmly planted there, and that new rung becomes our normal level of functioning until we reach the top. At that time, feeling great becomes a permanent level of functioning instead of a temporary, once in a while experience. We can climb this ladder to a higher consciousness and a feeling of general well being by making a decision to do what is suggested in this book before moving on to the next. Then we need to follow the suggested principles, practices, and procedures before moving on, thus allowing each step to be firmly rooted in consciousness. In this way, our progress will be steady, rapid, and certain. What is it that we need to do before moving on? We must know exactly what we want. The process described in this book is quite simple, actually, and will move us rapidly and securely up our ladder. However, there are some things we must identify and eliminate, such as anger, fear, worry, guilt, and doubt, to get rid of these immediately. This allows our self-esteem, security, ambition, belief, and personal relationships to operate at their fullest potential. Now, we identify faulty or limiting belief systems with new and unlimited beliefs. And we immediately begin to experience the results of the new and unlimited beliefs in our lives. Well, there it is. That is all it takes to accomplish whatever your heart desires. This is the reality now. We must make decisions to take action. This is where the old idea of do it now comes into play. If we will do this, we will find our efforts rewarded 1,000-fold times. Instead of just okay, we will begin feeling great, and our lives will become great all of the time, not just once in a while. So again, family, there is a change that we would need to make, but before we make that change, there was something that we would have to have, and that was formula and principles. So we know formulating actually means to create or to write out a plan and work on it. Then we have the principles, which we know are rules, a law, universal law, God's law, guidance, or fact. And we know that God's law rules and is the law that we can respect at all times. So, last and not least, what are your beliefs and how have they been working out for you so far? These are just a few personal questions that you are to ask yourself. And if you guys related to any of these questions, leave a thought, comment, or if you like, hit the like button. I love hearing from you. So I'd like to thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day wherever you may be listening from. I say